Hey all, this is Rachel over at Moonlight Library. I'm here for Halloween TBR. We are pretty far into the month of October, over a week in, but you know what? Halloween spans past October. We all know that. So, we're going to talk about the books that I plan on reading and one book I am currently reading. So we'll start with the one I'm currently reading. Oh, I should add that one. The book I'm currently reading is Paulbearers Club by Paul Tremblay. I've read two other Paul Tremblay books, and I do really enjoy him. Cabin at the End of the World and the Haunting, Head Full of Ghosts. I was like, haunting of something? Some sort of haunting? Paulbearers Club is kind of like a mock memoir that this guy writes about how he created this club in high school so he could get some extra credit and extracurriculars or whatever. He goes to, he starts a club where they go attend, people's funerals that wouldn't have people there. So it's, houseless people and elderly people that might not have any family still living. They are pallbearers. The memoir is sent to someone else, so someone is writing notes in the margins. And it's pretty good so far. I've heard mixed reviews, but I'm enjoying it. I'm not very far, but I'm definitely enjoying it. So really excited to see what happens here, because it's a good spooky, but not too spooky so far. We'll see. The next book is We Spread by Iain Reid. This is the person who wrote I'm Thinking of Ending Things. Okay, so this one is about this woman who is getting older in age, kind of just living in the same place, a mundane life, and she's lost her partner. She's all alone, and she starts to paint, and some weird stuff starts happening, I guess. And it's is it old age or is something else happening around her? So just got my book of the month, and that is Sign Here by Claudia Lux. Sign Here takes place in hell, and it's this regular office worker in hell. He starts to question things, I guess, and question his place, and he goes on a vacation. Ooh. So he goes on a vacation. He happens to meet a new friend on vacation, or they go together. I don't really know. And an opportunity arises. And it sounds pretty interesting. I haven't read any books set in hell other than I guess I've read a couple things that are kind of tangential to the underworld. So Lore Olympus, but this feels like a completely different type of book. So that's nothing like this. Okay. This is Penpal, and it's by Dathan Auerbach. I have been wanting to read this book for years. And it's this guy kind of reconstructing his childhood and figuring out what happened to him and stuff like that. And it's supposedly horrifying. I hear it is horrifying. So I'm very excited because I want something that scares my bones out of my skeleton and body. I want my bones to go flying all over the place because I'm so scared. And that makes sense. And everyone knows what I'm talking about. If you have a really good scary book for me, comment it below. If it's House of Leaves, I've read it twice and freaking love that book. So if you have a book like House of Leaves, definitely recommend that. What am I talking about? Camp Slaughter by Sergio Gomez. My nose is so itchy. This one is obviously a slasher horror camp, I don't even know, sort of book, and maybe I should read it in the summer or something, but it's also now. Who knows if I'll even get to it. I have a couple days left of Halloween, so not a couple. It's 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 5 weeks. I don't know. How long is time? Do you know time? Because I don't. Yes. So, college kids renting out a cabin deep in the woods of Pennsylvania. Oh, will soon realize the truth. Oh. I've only read a couple slashers, so we'll see how I feel about it. I feel most of the times all the slashers I've read, I've been it's good, but it's not my favorite book in the world. It's not one of my favorite horrors in the world. So, what shall I say? Next up, I have two Stephen Graham Jones novellas, Night of the Mannequin and Mapping the Interior. I'd really like to read these. They seem like shorties, and I would really enjoy to read a couple short horror sort of things. And I've had these sitting on my shelf, so I'm very interested. Am I going to tell you what they're about? No, because they're really short, and I don't want to spoil anything. Lastly, I romanticize the idea of reading short stories, but I never do it. So, like, reading short stories, like, before you go to bed, you read a short story, you know, and I never do it. And I would like to do that. And I've been spending so much time, like, on TikTok and stuff like that. And, you know, get me off of that app. Save me. Maybe I switch out that habit with reading short stories. So we have Clive Barker's Books of Blood, which I have multiple friends who have been yelling at me for years. They're like, Rachel, you haven't read Books of Blood? You haven't read Books of Blood? What's wrong with you? And that's how they yell, is in that tone. And it's fairly annoying. So I think it's time. It is a water damaged book. You can't, yeah, you can see that everything's like all messed up on it. So I'd like to read that. This is a horrifying cover. Can you see it? Look at that. So scary. Anyways, that's the plan. I'm not gonna drop it. So I think that's about all I could foresee being able to read. I mean, I don't even foresee myself being able to read all those books, but those are the books I'm choosing from. And if I happen to read a different book, then I don't know what to say to you, because that's what happens sometimes. Thank you for joining me and looking or talking about. Tell me if you've read any of these or if you have any suggestions for me. And thanks for being here. Okay. Bye.